These little country boys don't play. And I'm going to tell you something. In Texas, whenever you go play at a field that don't have a track around it, ooh, Lord, you better get your butt toe up. You got to get your butt toe out the frame. Like if you pull up and ain't no track around the field, you get ready to play some football. All right, hey, this ain't for track. This ain't for none of that. You get ready to play some football. And I was on fire. They didn't want to play me. So that was probably the greatest moment because it was against opposition that was on the inside. How many of you dealing with opposition that's on the inside? We got somebody right there laying with us, or sleeping with us, or right in the same gun room. It is opposition on the inside. Somebody we didn't even think could oppose us like that because we've been that good to them. I'm helping you, and you opposition. I've sat in all three seats. I've been the player that's being recruited. I've been the parent sitting beside the player that's being recruited. And now I'm the coach that's recruiting. So I know what you're thinking, I know what you're thinking, I know what he's thinking. It's real. So I can answer all three questions because I've sat in every seat.
All right, guys, welcome to an episode of Fully Loaded. I got not Chris Carter, but I got prime time. But the problem with Chris is he'd been replaced today.
Right.
And you look a lot better sitting there
than
Chris does. And it's actually not that close.
I love my dog.
He's the best.
I love my dog.
He's the best. But you said earlier, speak the truth.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking the truth.
The truth gonna make you free. That's what my book tells me.
That's what you told me to do. So that's what I'm doing.
Got you.
Well, first of all, thank you for being on the podcast.
Yeah, please, thank you for
I
having
appreciate
me,
you.
man.
Thank you for what you did earlier. You're changing people's lives. They're out of their minds.
We are changing people's
like
lives.
We changed
Not I.
Okay.
I tell my staff, they don't work for me, they work with me. We
I appreciate what we did.
There you go. So
I want to start talking to you about because business is always the business of sports is intriguing to me.
It is.
Yeah, and it's for me, and as I've gotten on in life and been able to be involved in certain things, and I've said this 30 years ago. So 30 years ago, I get done playing baseball. I'm a social worker. And I go to police academy, and they said to me, we're doing an ethics class, and they said you pull over a car, 2:00 in the morning, you find $147,000 in cash in it. It's unmarked. What do you do with it? I was 22, and I had $147. I said, well, maybe I would keep it because I was telling the truth.
Tell the truth.
And then I realized that's probably not the job for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And as I started, like, moving on in my life, I was like, man, it's really odd because sports mirrors life so much.
Yeah.
And then, but it's like I'm looking at the business of, and I made that police academy thought because I thought if I had gotten a scholarship to play anywhere and didn't have any money and somebody said, hey, man, I'll buy you a plane ticket to see your mom, I would have taken it.
That's right.
In a minute. Because I would have thought it was wrong that this entity was making all this money off of me.
Right.
And you said something recently, because I've been trying to explain this to people about NIL, for what I know. And they're like, all these guys have this money. You said there's only a few people.
With the NIL deal.
Can you explain that to all of our
NIL means name, image, and likeness. Now, this is a wonderful podcast. I don't know how long each episode is.
As long as you want it to be.
Okay, well, the thing about it, what I'm trying to allude to is that we got time. And tell me how many people you really see endorsing a product on television.
I don't see many.
So it's not NIL. It's only a few, name, image, and likeness. Now, that was what it was supposed to be. Now, like anything in life, the devil gets in and what? He dilutes it, misconstrues it, provokes it to be something that it ain't. Now, all of a sudden, they come with this collectives. Yeah. So I thought it was just supposed to be NIL. Yeah. And we understand kids getting paid for their name, image, and likeness. Because you're a business owner,
yep.
A good one too.
Yep.
So how much money would you actually put on a kid in college, right out of high school, that you don't know what he or she is doing? Not much, right? Until they get to a certain age and stage that you have trust in them.
Yes, sir.
Because they got your brand with them.
Yep.
That's how it was supposed to be. Someone came along and said, you know what? Like a church offering, let's just pass the plate. And all the rich folks, let's pass the plate. So you put in $1 million, you put in $1 million. Next thing you know, I got $10 million. I'm going to give you 2. I'm going to give you 2. I'm going to give you 1. I'm going to give you 500. I'm going to give you 200. And that's what happened. And now you got the big boys, you got the little boys.
Yeah.
The big boys, they normally play for national championships. The little boys don't. Because now, how can I afford to be on the same field that you're on? You know, when your guys are making this and my guys are making this, not I'm saying my guys because we're going to fight no matter what.
Oh, I know that.
Because I attract guys that want to play the game. And they want some money. They want to be comfortable. But they love the game. That's the kind of guys I attract. I'm not attracting the guys that just want the bag. Because the bag is in the NFL, not NIL.
Correct.
There you go. And that's sustainability.
Correct.
Yeah.
But you're the guy that helped get him the bag. And
Right.
that's the other thing, too.
Right.
And so when I started, I talked to a few different schools, and a guy called me up, and he said, hey, I'm with the collective. And I said, what is it? Because I'm a big, just give me the definition.
Give me the definition.
And when he explained that, I was more confused than when he started.
That's right.
So I said, if I have a young man that is trying to play at this school, and he needs some, it ain't a big bag, but it's money.
Right.
It's 50 grand. It's whatever he needs.
It's a lot.
25 grand. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Why do I have to give it to you all for you to keep a piece of what goes to him? Because that, to me, from a business standpoint, every business I've ever run, I thought, how do I stop sharing? I run the business.
Cut out the middleman.
Cut him out.
Cut out the middleman.
Why not?
Right.
How does that is that middleman going to be there? The collective, the agents. I got a guy now. I'm an agent.
Oh God, I'm glad you said that word. You got guys in high school now with agents.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me? Let's just take a round number, like 100,000.
Okay.
So you get 100,000 out of high school, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I'm your agent. I'm charging you 20%. What agent you know charge 20%?
None
so
of
they
that.
getting 20%. So they getting 20 grand. So now you left with 80. Now tax time comes around.
Mm-hmm.
What are you paying taxes on? The 100.
Mm-hmm.
So you gonna track down the guy with the 20 and say, I need some of that back for taxes? No, he gone.
Mm-hmm.
He gone. So why would a guy who has your best interest at heart charge you for what you're capable of doing? In the big get is the pros.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you charging the guy to go to college? When did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
And you got families quitting their jobs and putting it on the kids. Mothers and fathers. How do you know that, Coach Pratt? I know what I know. That I know that I know. That ain't right. But that's what we are. It's not sustainable what's transpiring today. It's going to have to be some rules invoked. NCAA, I don't know where they are. They're nowhere to be found. They nowhere to be found.
How does that?
None of
that
this.
Possible?
It's possible. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Where are they right now? Say something. Stand up. NCAA, stand up. Stand up, please. Nowhere to be found. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, you talking about teams that have paid $20-some million. Just it's a college. I'm not gonna call it no name. It's a college paid over $20 million for a freshman class in 2022. It's only 2 players left on that team from that class because they all jumped in the portal.
Wow.
So now, shouldn't it be some contingencies?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you don't do this, I need this back.
Yeah.
But it's no parameters. It needs to be regulated, man.
They were regulating if you took a can of soda
Once upon a
or
time.
a bus ticket.
Right.
But now they won't regulate these guys coming in grabbing 20%. And that's why I say when I taught in my little world, right? I taught the athlete, I go, why would you pay them that? Like, I'm in business.
They don't know no better.
Because that's right.
They don't know no better. Then you got the little, I don't even call some of them agents, man.
Yeah.
I call them hustlers.
Yeah, that's a better. I bet
One
it's a
thing
better
that I
definition.
don't do, so I'm clear with you, I don't talk about money.
Mm-hmm.
With my kids, with the recruits, I don't do that. Like, if we're in there and we're talking football, we talk X's and O's, how we could use you, how we want you, how do you fit in here? Do you fit in here? First of all, I'm interviewing you. You think you're interviewing me. Do you fit in here? Don't ask me about no money, man, because I ain't about that. I'm about this game. I love this game. And I know if you got game, your game is going to elevate you and take you to where the bag is. Don't chase the bag, man. Chase the game. When you chase the game, the bag is going to follow. So chase the game. So I don't even get into that. We got people that get into that, but I don't get into that. I make sure they're fit first. Because sometimes just because you made it to me, that don't mean you're for me. Mm-hmm. I just said something, and I want y'all to replay that. Mm-hmm. Just because you made it to me, that don't mean you for me.
So when you look at, and obviously I was saying this downstairs when we were down there changing lives, the passion with which you speak, the culture, all the stuff that pours out of you.
Yeah.
You know, you just must love coaching a college game. I mean, when somebody, and I know nothing about what y'all can do, but somebody's like, man, Brian's going to be in the NFL. I was like, dude, maybe he will be. He'll do whatever he wants, but it ain't the same game.
It ain't the
right?
same game. It ain't the same game. It ain't the same thought process. It ain't the same maturation. It ain't the same voice. It ain't the same thought process. It's not the same. And I love that thing, that thing that I can't really describe. Even with my vocabulary, I can't really describe it, but I love it. Like the reason I probably don't have a ring on my finger because I'm married to it. You said that right. I'm married to this thing. Like I love this thing. Like I get up, I think about this thing. I call it her. Like this thing, because she's been so good to me for so many years. Like she has sustained me. She has taken care of me. She has kept me. She has developed me. She has matured me. She's been there for me, man. And I love every bit of it, and I want to see these kids soar. All the mistakes that I made in life, I'm able to give them the game on this. Like I'm able to say, look, this is some good stuff, and I'm about to spit. I've sat in all 3 seats. I've been the player that's being recruited. I've been the parent sitting beside the player that's being recruited. And now I'm the coach that's recruiting you. So what seat I don't know? Oh, that's good. So I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I know what he's thinking. It's real. So I know where we at. So I can answer all 3 questions because I've sat in every seat. Now I'm in the spiritual seat too because I know what you want for your baby. I know what you want for your baby. I got that because I'm that guy too. So I love what I do, and I do what I love. I really do.
When I was just going through some stuff, getting ready to jump on a podcast, I was thinking to myself, with all the games you played in, you know, I look at I was saying this earlier when you talk about, man, I just couldn't hit a curve. It's like you hit 260 at the major league level. Nobody wanted you on base because you stole everything when you was on there. Had an unbelievable World Series, ridiculous high. I mean, bad. What was it? And it may be a terrible question to ask because all the games you played. What was the greatest one?
I would say it wasn't one. It was the thought process of the World Series.
The thought process.
Let me explain. I had a football contract that started in August. Now I'm with the Braves, but when August hits, I'm football. I'm done with baseball. My baseball contract only went to this date.
Okay.
So now we're in the playoffs. So that's where the helicopters and stuff come from. I'm like, let me go down there and help my team. So somebody offered a helicopter. So I'm practicing in Swanee, Georgia. They fly a helicopter to pick me up, to take me to the baseball stadium, put on my gear, and I play. After the game, go home, go back to practice the next day for football. Like, I'm trying to help the team. So knowing that, now we playoffs, we win. Now it's a big deal. Why am I playing 2 sports? I'm trying to help y'all. I don't have a contract, and they misconstrued it. It wasn't social media then. It was just whoever said what they said, it was what they said. It was what it is. And they made me have to be the bad guy. Like, he's being selfish. Why is he playing football and baseball the same time? Well, I had a darn football contract. I was helping you in baseball. I'm just pinch hitting. And guess what? A guy named David Cone happened to be pitching in the World Series. Oh, and guess what? Baseball's analytics. I was hitting over 600 off David Cone. So guess what? You can't sit me on the bench. I'm just sitting there waiting. You got to come see me now. I'm just sitting in the locker room. Oh, you coming to see me, baby? I know you coming to see. Guess what? Prime, you're starting today. Yep, I knew it. And guess what happened? Yeah, single up the middle. Yeah, single. Stole base, stole second, stole third. I'm on. So once I had a great first game, you got to play me again. Can't sit me down because I'm hot. And I was on fire. But they didn't want to play me. So that was probably the greatest moment because it was against opposition that was on the inside. How many of you dealing with opposition that's on the inside? We got somebody right there laying with us, sleeping with us, right in the same darn room. And it's opposition on the inside. Somebody that we didn't even think could oppose us like that because we've been that good to them. I'm helping you.
100%.
And you opposition? So that probably was my greatest moments. And had we won, I had already had my speech ready. You'd have had to come to me and give me the MVP. The guy that was talking to me about me up in the booth, he had to be the one to give me the MVP. had we won. So I was upset that we lost just because of that. Just because I wanted to say I told you.
So you were practicing,
Yeah.
getting a helicopter,
Yep.
playing the game.
Yep.
And we were talking earlier about sports, 3 sports, 1 sport, 2. You recruit a ton of guys, or they do a lot of recruiting themselves.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, got to get out in the homes and get in the phone. It's a wrap. Get them on FaceTime. When you see these young men, are you a fan of them continuing to play multiple
I want them
sports
to
through high
soar.
school?
I'm the only kid in college football. I think allowed a man to play both ways. Every play. Not some plays. I had 3 guys in the last home game play both ways. I had a offensive guard play defensive tackle. I had a slot receiver play over the slot at cornerback. And I had Travis Hunter. 3 guys in one game play both ways. I want them to soar. I want them to do the doggone thing. Just because you can't fathom it and you didn't do it, you should not eliminate someone else's dream because you didn't have the ability to consummate your dream. I want them to do it, man. I'm all for them. And I love every last one of them, and I want more. I recruit guys to that. If you could do it, but I got a deal. You got to be great on one side. You can't be half and half. Yeah, We ain't coffee. This ain't coffee you putting in. You can't be half and half, baby. You got to be him. When you him on one side, I let you participate on the other side, but you got to be a dog.
Does anybody else let them do that?
I don't believe so. They probably promised them that to get them to the school.
They don't do it once they get there.
Oh, no. I don't know of any other guys that did what Travis Hunter did. No way. Or any other guys.
How from a social media standpoint, when I watch let's just take Travis and Shedeur. Let's take those. There's a heavy 2.
You take it.
But let's not take 90. Let's take 2.
There you go.
With social media, with the scrutiny, with the work, and I've watched as a dad, I sit back and I just think, man, like you watched all the moving parts,
right?
And again, growing up, we didn't have social media. Like
right.
you said, somebody put something in the newspaper, and that was a fact.
It was a fact.
Like, that's
it
what
was
happened.
You had to live with
Matter of fact, I read about your games in the newspaper.
Right.
That just meant whatever they printed an article, that was a fact. What has been your biggest advice to both those two with this? And I always laugh too because I go to games, and I remember when I was a kid, we had no money. And I remember a dude said to me one day, be careful if you sit down lower because you never want to go back. So now I can only sit in the first row because there's nobody in front of me.
That's right.
And I listen to people scream and yell, and I always think to myself, damn, like that dude, he can't even walk up the stairs without getting winded. He barely can eat his nachos and hot dog at the same time,
right.
And he's screaming that people suck.
That's
they
right.
suck. They
That's
suck.
right.
And I kind of just think, man, I don't know if I wouldn't turn around and drop that mother father. You know what I mean? Knock his teeth down. But anyway, I do digress. But that's what I feel like. Right. And sometimes I do. You know what I mean?
That's
I've
right.
been sober a long time. God bless. But how do you counsel them through that?
It's hard to take somebody to a place that you hadn't been. Yeah. I've been there, man. I've been there with 50, 60,000 in baseball stadium hollering, you suck. I've been there with 100,000 hollering, prime ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I've been there. So I know how to guide you through in this personal navigational system to get to this point. People don't love you. They love what you do. And when you cease to do what you do, they love what cease as well. They don't love you, man. Some people get intoxicated thinking they love them just because they're cheering and yelling. But if you really was intent on what they're saying, it's a lot of booze mixed in with the cheers, but just so happen it may be 51% cheers that override that 49. So you got to take the good with the bad, but you can't get intoxicated with thinking it's love because they don't know you. They don't know my middle name. How they love me? You love what I did and the feeling I gave you, how I made you feel watching that moment. You don't even know me. So how you love what you don't know? So that's what I teach my kids. I teach them that all the time. Sometimes it's tough because they're young men and impressionable. But I'm like, you can't look. This is the thing. You can't look at 10 messages and 9 of them are positive, but you focus on the negative. Mm-hmm. Then I start thinking, son, why are you attracted to negativity? I'm attracted to positivity. Mm-hmm. I'm going to focus on the 9. You're focusing on the 1. When did I teach you that? if we're going to focus on some bull junk coming from somebody we don't know, focus on the 9. Example. It's just checking somebody. Like you say you want to chin check them. I don't do that, in fact, because I'm going to get sued. Okay?
I hear you. Don't do it.
We going to get sued.
We going to get sued.
It's a guy said something real harsh about one of my sons the other day. On X, it used to be Twitter, X. I DM'd him. I say, my man, I pray to God that your kid is blessed and highly favored. I'm praying for you and him. He returned, Prime, I'm sorry, man. I was just venting. That's my bad. I never do that again. I deleted the message because I challenged him on it. Mm-hmm. But I didn't challenge him negatively.
No.
He said, I don't even have a son, but I understand now. Think about that.
It's deep.
They just want attention, man. This world we live in is starving for attention. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants attention. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to be somebody without doing something. And that was bad. Mm-hmm. They want to be somebody without doing something. And we're applauding that foolishness, man. We're applauding anybody for darn near doing nothing. We got celebrities now. We got people that are approaching billions of dollars that have no talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. But I'm thankful because everybody can make it. Everybody got opportunity. So it's not one mechanism as college, as this. It's not that. It's so many different ways to make it. And I'm happy with that because everybody wasn't built for college. Everybody wasn't built for this. Everybody wasn't built for that. You may be built for something else. And I'm happy with that. That we got a chance.
Were you always able to do that?
Yeah.
Take the high road?
Yeah. Because
respond with positivity?
Because I every once in a while, I didn't know the address to the high road. Every now and then. I didn't know the address, so I couldn't navigate it.
I'm trying to find it.
I couldn't get there.
Yeah.
But I don't take it angrily. I'm never going to give you the audacity to affect me. Because if I let you affect me, you infect me. Mm. And when it gets inside of me, that's when I got a problem. So now I got to address it because it's bubbling. So I can't let you affect because then it ultimately infects.
So as we move forward here, what'd you think about the college playoffs this year? Just the system.
I loved it, man.
You loved it.
I was mad.
You're mad. I
was angry.
Okay.
Because we had opportunity. Was it Kansas State? Kansas? Which one was it? Kansas? Kansas State? It's Kansas, wasn't it? Kansas. We had opportunity versus Kansas. Good job, Sam. You was there, too. And we were so focused on getting to Texas in the Big 12 championship, we just knew we had it. And we just didn't lock in and focus. And we let that game slide. And I can remember right before the kickoff on the headset, I said, fellas, I don't see it in their eyes. I don't see it in their eyes.
Before the game?
Before the game. Like a coach know his sheep. Like you know your guys, man. I know my guys. And I'm looking at them like, I don't see it in their eyes. We better start fast. If we don't start fast, it's going to be a problem. And we started horribly. I think we got down 14 or something like that. Yeah. We came back and we were 2 points away. Then we just crumbled. And that was the game. That was it. Had we taken that one, we steamrolled our last opponent. Now we in the Big 12 championship, and I rolled the dice with 2 of the best players in college football against anybody because we had 2 of the best players in college football. So we had an opportunity. So I like the playoffs. Arizona State went to it from the Big 12 conference, and they played their butts off, man. I'm proud of them. So they represented us well as a conference. But I like it because you feel like you got a shot now. Because if you get in, anybody can win. It's just who's hot, like who's rolling at that time. It don't matter what you did early in the season. It matters how you're playing right now. And that's what counts. And I love that part of it because it's more. You know, it's 12 teams, man. We got to be one of those 12.
Mm-hmm. The psychology, I want to wrap up with the psychology of football. So I'm a Connecticut guy, born and raised. Moved to Florida, UConn basketball. Been a machine. Coach Calhoun's a great guy. I know his son real well. Know him, great people. Now back on but in between those championships, if you were in Connecticut and you went to games, there weren't a lot of people there.
Right.
You won. After a couple of years, you weren't winning a national championship. It's Connecticut. It's New England. It might be cold. I ain't going.
That's right.
And now everybody's excited again. Everybody wants to give money again. You win. But football, you can go to any of these schools, these big powers. Like,
yeah,
it's a rabid in where the NBA is. I'm just not a big. If you ask me at night when I'm watching, it ain't the NBA.
That's right.
I'm just not. College hoops, NFL, college football. I'm a baseball guy, but I'm trying. It's just still old school. What do you think can you explain to us how crazy rabid in a good way these communities, these schools, these because if you don't know, you don't know, are about their football.
It's hope, man. It's like a small town that's known for a tremendous football program. Like we had a small town when I used to live in Prosper, Texas here, up the street, Salina. These kids used to win state during every year. These little country boys don't play. And I'm going to tell you something. In Texas, whenever you go play at a field that don't have a track around it, ooh, Lord, you better get your butt toe up. You got to get your butt toe out the frame. Like if you pull up and ain't no track around the field, you getting ready to play some football. All right, hey, this ain't for track. This ain't for none of that. You getting ready to play some football. And you could rob the whole town during the game because there was nobody working anywhere. And that's how Texas is, and that's what college does. Like, in Boulder, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that God chose me. I mean, think about it. In a season, that's 6 games, $113 million for the city.
Wow.
In 6 games.
Wow, 113.
Yes, that was last year. I don't know what this year. This year may be more, but I mean, what we're doing to not only provide jobs, provide resources, and that's just what the city made. I mean, we're not even talking about apparel sales up 80%. Ticket sales sold out every game. I could go category with category and category, and what it does for not just winning, but giving hope. Hope. Because when those people see us run out that tunnel, man, and just see us with those black and gold on, man, it just does something. And when we win, oh, my God, everybody's smiling, everybody's happy, everybody's spending money, everybody's smiling. I mean, everybody's just there, and I love it because I'm going to tell you something that I love, and this is good stuff. Because when we're in that black and gold, we're not black and white. We're not. We're not black, white, Hispanic, Asian. We're not. We're Colorado Buffs. It's not a black crowd. It's not a white crowd. It's not a Hispanic. It's not an Asian crowd. It's none of that. It's just a crowd, man, a football crowd. And I like that. Why, when the game is over, we change? We need to stay that way. You know, we need to stay that way. You shouldn't have to be great to be colorless. Michael Jordan ain't black and white. That's Michael Jordan. Tom Brady ain't black or white. That's Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Like you shouldn't have to be great to be colorless. Like I see a good brother right here, man. I see a good dude that cares, that's been through hell and back, and darn it, he made it. He ain't stopped, right? Just the interaction I saw with you and your daughter, I love you, my brother. That's all I need to see. A good father. I don't have a coach employed with me that ain't a good father. How you gonna coach kids and be around kids all day and you don't want to be around your own? I don't hire that. You lost your mind. So what I saw, that wasn't fake. Y'all ain't rehearsed that. Baby girl got love for you, man. And when she was in the front, I saw that connection. Like she was looking at daddy every morning. Like I love it because that's how I'm with my kids, man. That's how I'm with my baby. I'm daddy. My baby girl just had a game today. And I'm mad because I didn't catch the call for the game. We pray before every game, and I missed the darn call. You know, my other son is working out at the crib right now, 2 of them. One is filming the other one. Shiloh is there and just went back to Colorado. My oldest daughter with my freshly grandson, they're in Colorado. They're going to be on my TV show tomorrow for the first time, so I can't wait to do that. You know, the first time I get to be with my grandson on television, yeah, and his father and his mother. So that's going to be awesome. Can't wait to do that. So, But I got love for you, man. I appreciate you.
I got love
I appreciate
for you.
this opportunity as well.
I appreciate you being here, man. We poured life into people.
Yes.
And I appreciate what you did, and I appreciate you for you. You changed my
man.
life real fast, man. I promise you that. And we appreciate y'all. Thanks for jumping on Fully Loaded. Like, subscribe, share. Coach Prime, appreciate you, bro.
Chris, we love you too, dog.
Here we do.